Hey guys. What's going on, guys? This is your sports guy, Kendrick Henderson with TFG Sports, and this is Tuesday night, and you know what time it is? It's time for us to talk about some of the sports headlines from the following week. Just glad you could join us. I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. I need you to jump in here real quick, if you could, and let me know you're watching. Give me a shout out, and I'm gonna make sure I shout you out. And we just gonna have a good time talking about some of the marquee and the highlights and the hot topics of this week's sports. What's up, brother Brenton? Glad you got in here. Appreciate you joining me, my brother. And that guy right there to the right of your screen, that's my guy, KLTV Sports Director Michael Coleman, coming from us live from where, Mike?
Oxnard, California, or as I said in my stand-up, Cowboys Nation, California, a suburb of Oxnard.
All right, man. I'm glad you could join me. I was like, man, I hope my guy can come on with me. So I know you've been running. I know. Just kind of tell us what's your day been like today.
Oh man, I was in Sacramento, and I spent time with my sister at a big birthday party for her, and my mother and my two sisters were part of it. My guy and her guy and my sister flew them out, and then I got there yesterday about 11 o'clock. Got 3 hours of sleep, caught a flight from Sacramento this morning at 6:30 California time. Got here about 10:30. Our photographer, Arthur, as you know, you know him, waiting on the rental car. Drove on into Oxnard, came to the room first to get our gear. But the gear, they're here now, but 3 of the 4 bags that were sent on Thursday, including cameras, were not even here yet.
Oh my goodness!
Now this is where you gotta okay, we gotta figure out. We're gonna do something,
right?
Yeah, we gotta figure it out. So let's go and get our credentials. That whole thing has changed up now, big time. It's not where you used to go to get your credentials.
Right.
Then you gotta go through the COVID questioning and proof that you had the vaccination. You gotta have your card with you.
Wow.
Have that. One guy from the media, I'm not sure. I don't know where he's from. I guess he's never been tested because he had no documentation. So he was making arrangements to get tested by CVS. But other than that, he's not allowed to come to practice until he gets proof that he's been taken care of. So we come back to the room. Our gear is here. We unpack. Let's go cut our elements of the package we're going to send back for the 10 o'clock show. Because I was going to go live, but because ABC got the basketball game,
right.
So we did the package, just did some stand-ups and ad-lib narration, got in the traffic, walked in the door, and there's my smiling buddy Kendrick Henderson, ready to get it on a Tuesday night.
Man, you know I must be. Hey, when your man like that come through for you, we must be buddies. I'm telling you, brother. I sure appreciate you coming on with me tonight. And I know what you guys are going through from them Cowboys camps because you and I have been through plenty of them. From that equipment to trying to. Oh, anyway. But we're gonna talk more about that later on, Mike. Again, if you guys watching, make sure you come in and speak. Say hello, Doris. Thank you for joining me. That's my cousin Doris watching, my big sis Britannica Lynn in here. Thanks you guys for coming in. So we're gonna jump off and talk about that game 6 tonight, the Bucks and Suns. It's 3-2, Bucks up. They can end this thing tonight. Game 5 was a nail biter. They won 123-119. Giannis led the way for the Bucks with 32 and 9, 6 assists. Drew Holiday came through with 27 points, 4 rebounds, 13 assists, and Chris Middleton had 29.7 rebounds and 5 assists. The Suns was led by Devin Booker's 40 points and 4 rebounds, and Chris Paul with 21 points, and DeAndre Ayton with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Mike, what you think about this game tonight, and can the Bucks pull it off?
Well, right now it's on schedule, like I said it was going to be. It's going to be a 7-game affair, but it's going to be Phoenix pulling it out. That Drew Holiday play was the play of the game. Although they were already ahead, it wasn't secure. It wasn't nailed down. And for him, professional athletes, they have mental lapses too. Ball security, especially, if you got to have ball security. But this is a great play by Drew Holiday. So I can't take anything away from him. He's Giannis. I'm going to do my thing. Middleton had the game I wasn't expecting because he's so inconsistent, but he's becoming more and more, this is who I am. And so I just think tonight Phoenix needs more of Andre Ayton. They need more of him. They need more of him because they're getting killed in the paint.
Yeah.
Which if Coach Bud had realized that earlier, it might have been a sweep. It might have been a sweep.
It could have been. I agree with you. I will be honest with you. I've been hard on Drew Holiday. Matter of fact, I got into a heated. Me and my cousin on Saturday night, I was over here. We got into a heated debate about Drew Holiday. I was like, "Look, man, that 4-year, $184 million extension he signed in April. I'm like, I don't think I would have gave him that money. But after the game he had Saturday night, I was like, okay, Drew, I see you, Drew. You finally came through. You finally came through.
He watches you too, man.
He watches me too. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, he heard me talking bad about him because I've been on him, man, because he hadn't been consistent to me.
Right.
I mean, he hadn't shot. He's taking some bad 3-pointers, and then the Bucks as a whole, to me, I thought that they should be pounding that ball to Giannis. Quit letting him be out on the perimeter. Put him and Lopez on the block and let them do their thing.
And I think Chris Paul tonight just got to give me one more of those games, man. At least make it go to 7. At least they could go to 7. I mean, I had a 20-point night, but that's what happens when you razzle and dazzle. I mean, legitimately, and you're expected to do it every time. And then when you don't, all the commentators say you're a bum.
Right.
He had it 2 games ago. So now you don't have it. So that's a turnoff for me because it's so quick for media, which I'm a part of. But I think I watch those shows now to remind myself how not to be.
I agree with you.
Not to be, because
I totally agree with you.
I'm gonna report the facts, and I'm gonna give what I think might be an intelligent or somewhat intelligent aspect or analysis of the game or that person's particular play. But I'm not going to go out there and call him raggedy or a bum or he's through. I would never do that, and that's what we've come to today.
You're exactly right, and I'm with you. And sprinkle a little entertainment because, you like to entertain. You got the little one-liners. So we got it still entertained, but I'm with you. We need to stick to more of the analysis and facts and not really name-calling. Brittany, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Last thing on this, Mike, I found a quick little note about Game 5. The winner of Game 5s in NFL Finals, they have went on to win the series 21 of 29 times. So the winner of Game 5 in the NBA Finals have won 21 of 29 times. Game 6. I mean, history's on the Bucks side, and I don't think they need to allow this thing to go back to Phoenix. I don't think they need to.
And the way this series has gone, as many of the series have gone in the NBA, Milwaukee won the what? They won on the road, right? That hadn't happened until they won on the road because they both were 2-0.
Right.
So now, in order for it to go 7, the Suns are going to have to win.
Have to win on the road. That's right. So anyway, that game is tonight, guys, on ABC at 8:00, and I'm gonna be sitting there front and center, seeing my birth town, my birth city. If we can win one. Last time the Bucks won a championship was 1971 with a guy named, I think he was Lou Alcindor at the time.
He was still Lou.
He wasn't Kareem and Oscar Robertson. So we're gonna see what happens. All right, Miss Producer, let's go on to the next topic. What's going on, Lamb Levity? Thanks for joining us. Richard Sherman arrest. Mike, I'm sure you've seen it all. I don't know if you saw the video of him outside the door, the 911 calls. This was it was a shocker to me because Richard Sherman is a Stanford graduate. He's one of the executives for the NFL Players Association, one of the higher ups on one of the committees. Stand-up guy, very well spoken, Super Bowl champ. Obviously, it was some things that he had been dealing with, and we never knew this was going on. What is your assessment of what happened with Richard Sherman?
I was in Mexico on my vacation when this story broke.
Mm-hmm.
And Mexico's connection is real spotty in certain places. I had to go down in the lobby to see what this story was about.
Okay.
And you're right. Whenever we've talked about Richard Sherman, it's always been about his play on the field. Nothing else. I'm going to give him a pass. I mean, you can't beat up a guy that wasted this late in his career, his illustrious Hall of Fame career, to go off. There are mental situations that, hey, listen, I'm so glad the young lady, the tennis player, whose name escapes me right now, with the mental issues.
Naomi Osaka.
Naomi Osaka.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she did, because I think now players, especially the elite players, are in a position to exhale a little bit. Now, he went off, and I'm glad his wife came to his defense so quick. She didn't leave him hanging. She came to say, listen, he didn't hurt anybody, didn't hurt my kids, we're fine. I'm going to stand by him type of approach. And I think part of it is, I don't know about the other stuff. I don't know. I kind of been out of pocket, but for me, just observing, it's the first time in his career he don't know what's going to be going on.
Right. Yeah, it is.
And I think that lack of a routine into the routine of I don't know, I think it's kind of got to him a little bit, and maybe toppled with other stuff that's going on with his personal life. If I was looking at him before this went down, I'm gonna still look at him. I'm gonna sit him down and say, talk to me. What's going on? Because this is not your nature. We understand that. How can we help you become a better man? Forget about the football plan right now, but how can we help you become a better man and try to ensure this does not happen again from you? And I think he deserves at least that.
Yeah, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. And I would say this, I think, like you said, Naomi Osaka has kind of brought it to the light. We've all know that a lot of these professional players, they deal with mental issues. And then, they were saying Richard Sherman had prior to this incident that he had been dealing with some personal stuff, friends that came to try to talk with him and to see what was going on. I'm sure his wife is probably privy of that and don't really want to speak on that because that's a personal matter. So she never brought that up. But the thing is, a lot of the Seattle community is sticking by him. They I've noticed that, because what he's done, he's a stand-up guy, just has some issues, man. I always say, when you mix liquor with whatever issues you got, that can sometimes be a bad combination. And he had drunk 2 bottles, Mike, a bottle of vodka and a bottle of Hennessy. So he was lit. So we just glad that this didn't turn out to. It could have been worse. Obviously they had to sit the K9 dogs on him. The police did to get him to arrest because he fought with police. Just think, because he walked away from police. Just think that this could have been another situation where he could have been shot. I'm just saying. So we're just glad it turned out the way it is. The legal part of it is like 5 misdemeanors now. So I'm sure they're going to probably give him some probation and some community service. So, we praying for Richard Sherman and all the rest of the NFL players and professional athletes that deal with mental stuff. So we wish the best for him. All right. Next, we going to move on. Flag on the play, Michael. I know I'm definitely glad you're here because I don't know if you saw this story. The Big 12 had their media stuff last week. And one of the new rules is the horns down gesture. That now is a penalty and it's going to be considered taunting. If any player does the horns down to a Longhorn player, no matter what the sport, they can possibly be, there's a taunting, they could be possibly tossed out the game. Or whatever penalty yards is up to the discretion of the referee. This rule was specifically called the horns down penalty. Mike, what you think about that?
Well, can you do this to them? Nah. Can you do that?
I don't know, man.
Come on. You know what? Win some games. Win some games, win some championships, and just do the same thing back to them. Come on, man. I hadn't heard that. I promise you, you saying it is the first time I've heard it.
Yeah.
And I think it's absurd, because man up. Make them not do that. Don't let it be a legislated thing with the officials. You can't do that. That's ridiculous, man. And you know what?
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why the Big 12 decide. I mean, just say it's a taunting penalty. Why single that particular gesture? And why even bring it up at the Big 12 meeting?
Well, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know. I don't understand that.
Here's what's going to happen. A team is going to be running up the score, 63-14, and they're going to do it. Okay, they still can't make up 48 points on me. So
true.
Have it. Boom.
True.
You know? If I'm the coach, I say, listen, guys, don't do it. But if we get a big time lead and they can't come back, knock yourself out.
Yeah, true. And here's the kicker. That's crazy. And the kicker to this, the opposing players, they can do that to the crowd, no penalty whatsoever. They just can't do it to a player.
That's soft.
I agree. I'm just like, what? Why even make this a rule? I'm like, but that's the University of Texas. It's Oklahoma. I would tell you, my man Baker Mayfield, he started trolling Texas Longhorn fans after this. He was following on Twitter. He was doing the horns down. So man, anyway, any University of Texas Longhorn fans, y'all ought to be ashamed. Yeah, this is ridiculous. But they ought to be worried about trying to get a quarterback.
And
who could care less about that?
Air quotes, premier team in the league.
Yeah.
Just off of rep, which is like you're losing your rep because you haven't done anything since Vince Young. You haven't even threatened since Vince Young. Winning Alamo Bowl games just don't cut it.
No, it don't. You're right. Well, Steve Sarkisian, he'll get to deal with that in his first season with the Longhorns. So can't wait till the Big 12 gets started. So, all right, Miss Producer, let's move on to the next topic. All right, lift every voice and sing it. Most of us know what that is. That's the Black National Anthem. And earlier this week, it was found out that the NFL will play the Black National Anthem before certain games because due to their racial initiative process that they've already put in place. My thoughts on this, I'm gonna let you go first, Mike. What do you think about them playing lift every voice and sing?
America, with all good intentions, are doing these things to appease us. All right? I don't think anybody even asked for this to be done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to do it because you think it's because you want to do it or you think it's a good idea, that's fine. But when I saw the story and saw the comments, and the comments were aimed at the race, it's like, wait a minute, these people, our people, didn't ask for this; they did it. So I think they've overstepped their generosity, if you will, because it's gonna backfire. They did it last year. You saw what happened, and then what happens is mainstream folks tend to point the fingers at people of color and become more agitated, not at any fault of any person specifically. Just like if you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah, I just read another little part of it. It's part of a $250 million investment towards social justice. My question is, how is singing the national anthem an investment toward the social justice? If you put $250 million to that, let's put that money into investing in Black communities, into trying to get these police departments reformed. Let's do that. I could be perfectly honest with you, Mike. I'm with you. I could care less if they sing "Lift Every Voice" before a football game. Just like I could care less about the national anthem being sung. I don't understand why they do that. It's a football game. It's an athletic event. Who cares about you playing the national anthem? It doesn't make sense to me.
Take that money to remove billboards of liquor and cigarettes in our communities.
Good point.
What's wrong with that?
Good point.
Now you're showing me something.
Good point.
You know? But a song is a song. Is a song.
You just wrote a song with that. A song is a song is a song. Yeah, and invest that in our HBCUs. Invest that into education. That's where you can get some things going, man.
But singing this song is not going to help little Tyrone on 5th Street get an education.
No. And
It's
it's not gonna fix the police issues that we have and the other social is not. But and it's funny the NFL didn't make a comment about this. At least they didn't make a comment about it. So
I think maybe later on this week I'm going to use this as a storyline in one of my shows here at camp, and I'm going to say, listen, I don't think this is such a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm with you.
What's the benefit of doing it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because everybody's already aware of the inequities that go on in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Singing a song is not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get away from the kumbaya stuff. Let's go ahead and put some real action into action. So anyway, that's me and Mike take. All right, Miss Producer, let's move on to our last topic before then we're gonna let Mike kind of talk about Cowboys camp. But we got some room left in our TFG Fantasy Football League. That deadline is approaching, July 31st, right around the corner. Please, if you want to get in it, we need you to send your entry fee of $50 via Cash App to money sign Jaquithia Sims. In the memo field, put your email, address, and TFG Fantasy Football. Then after that, check your email for the invite to join league. Now, again, all funds must be in by July 31st, no exceptions. Now, we have 2 leagues. The first league, we will have a live draft August 10th, 7:15 p.m. Central. Yours truly, myself, and Charles Moore, our TFG Fantasy Football expert, will be hosting it live. So we're going to have some fun with that. Bring your popcorn, your drinks, and whatever else. And on leagues, we're going to do our second league draft the following week, August 17th at 7:15 p.m. Central as well. Now, the first 24 people to Cash App, your entry fee of $50 will be in automatically. Now, there's only 24 spots, 12 people in each league. First place winner is $200. Second place winner is $125. Third place is $75. And fourth place is $50. So let's get that in, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, you're free to join too. So we want to have some fun with this. Fantasy Football League is on and popping. And guess what? Training camp is about to be on and popping for them Dallas Cowboys starting tomorrow. And the rest of the league starting in a couple of weeks. My man Michael Coleman is live in Oxnard following the Cowboys. Mike, just give us a rundown of what you're going to be doing at training camp.
Well, we like tonight's story, just like I said, we don't have much content because they just arrived this afternoon, and we weren't here for it, so they didn't see that there was. I don't know if it was the fanfare that has been Cowboys arriving in years past. That might be a Mike McCarthy thing, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Think about it. But I among the storylines, HBO, Hard Knocks, they're here, of course. The storylines, Mike McCarthy is a big storyline, I believe. Here's a guy who really, this is his first training camp, as we know training camps to be, with the Dallas Cowboys because of the pandemic. Everybody stayed home last year and did it on their own property or whatever. Zeke, is he the Zeke of old? We're going to find that out. And, Dak Prescott's on the cover of a Cowboy slanted magazine. The question is Dak back? That's maybe the biggest storyline. And there'll be a few along the side, but so in my first piece tonight, I kind of center on that and use a little bit of sound from his first press conference when he came back from the injury. But this is going to be a different kind of camp because there are restrictions. There are things we can't do and places we can't go like we have the freedom to do, But I think we're lucky in the sense that 2 things we were told we wouldn't be able to do weeks ago, we're going to be able to do. We were told we would not be able to record Jerry Jones's presser.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were saying, because you're not going to have access to the tennis court.
Okay. Lost your audio, Mike.
You there?
There you go. Okay. Yeah, we got you now. Go ahead.
So the guy's like, hey, I'm trying to see what I can do with you guys. And also, we were restricted to where we could shoot from. Well, there's going to be an area where we will have access to being more on the field than we thought we were. So I even told our news director, I said, I think I said, I don't know why. I just think some of these rules are going to be laxed.
Yeah.
So that happened from day one. And the guy said, just come to me every day and I'll let you know what you can and can't do. So we got a little he's new to me. In fact, he joined them in 2020. I said, when you joined the Cowboys? It's about a year and a half ago. He said, I was an intern, and then the pandemic hit, and I wound up staying home. So this is my first training camp. Whitney, who you're familiar with, she didn't come.
Right. Okay.
Protocol kept her at home. So there's some different faces that we've worked with in the past that are not going to be here. There's some new folks, some new rules, and this may be our most challenging Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage, but we're going to pull it off.
I know you will. Now, Mike, you told me, I think you say McCarthy only does one practice a day. Is that correct?
One practice a day, 11 to 1 California time. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the rest of the day would be classroom study and maybe some walkthroughs.
Okay.
But there will not be any. If you talk to the player or had access to the player after practice, you ain't getting them no more today.
Oh, that's it.
So there's no reason to go to the walkthrough if that's going to be the case, because who gets hurt in the walkthrough?
Right. Exactly.
Unless you get being stung by a bee.
Right. Exactly.
Ain't nobody going to the walkthrough.
Yeah. If you pulling a hammy in the walkthrough, then you out of shape or something. For real. But let me ask you. I want to ask you this. Michael Irvin made a comment. I don't know if you saw that yesterday.
I did see that comment. Yeah.
About he felt like that if you hadn't taken care of being vaccinated, he don't think you're as committed to winning as you should, and he's said he's disappointed with the Cowboys. What's your take on that?
I agree with him, man. I mean, this is not politics. This is not it's the workplace, but a different kind of workplace. If you're going to be a team, you're going to be a team. All right. Mm-hmm. You can't afford to have one or two guys be selfish. And if your focus is the Super Bowl, I guarantee you Tom Brady's teammates are getting the shot because they want to be part of another magical ride, And I think, again, if you're going to be a team, it doesn't just mean on the field. It means off the field, too. And that means if you don't have that shot and 47 of their players do, you're not part of the team. You're being a detriment to the team. Yeah. So I agree
I kind of agree with them, but I also think that just because maybe you didn't get it doesn't mean that you're not committed. Maybe there's some issue. I mean, some people may have religious convictions where they don't like vaccines. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get what he's saying, but I don't know if I would say that just because they don't have it, they're not committed.
Yeah, and I get that. Give me a doctor's note.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, right.
Well, I'm committed the way you think I should be, but I really am committed.
Right. Okay.
Well, mom and dad, hey mom, can you help me out here? What the heck?
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so your coverage starts tonight at 10. Is that correct?
10, yes.
Okay, yeah. And you guys gonna be out there doing coverage to a win. How long will you be out there?
We'll be here till Wednesday of next week.
Okay.
But we're only going to get 5 practices. Ordinarily, we would get 10 practices, but because of that once a day practice.
Yeah. Right.
So that's where the story. We'll still get the storylines and all that kind of stuff. And maybe we don't need 2 practices a day as the media. I mean, the league, like I know, they're doing things different than what they used to, differently from how they used to do things.
Right.
And getting results. See how this turns out, man.
And their first official practice is it tomorrow or is it just the press conference tomorrow? It's Thursday. Their first official, just the presser is tomorrow, then their first official practice is Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Okay. And a lot of people don't understand the Cowboys and the Steelers actually are starting camp a week early because they play in the Hall of Fame game. So that's why you guys are out there a little earlier. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, Mike, let's get to our final thoughts, brother. What's your final thoughts, man?
Well, I think about, we were talking about the athletes who are not getting, the vaccine. The Olympics are in danger.
Yes. You go on with exactly.
I mean,
it really is.
This is it. And it's about to be a cluster, And not just because of folks who are being isolated because they didn't get they got the symptoms or whatever, but when you go to the Olympics, but one thing you concentrating on is you competing. There is just way too many distractions for this to be an Olympic season. and for there to be Olympics. And you saw where is it Toyota?
The Toyota,
Japan?
they pulled out all the advertising in Japan, and that's
mean,
they the main one. Yeah,
they're the main. I mean, they have billions invested.
Billions. Yes, they do. Yeah, they pulled
So
out.
That's a flag.
Yeah,
and I just think you're going to get more news out of the Olympics than you will sports.
Yeah. Okay. I agree, Mike. And my final thoughts is, them Bucks, y'all better do it for your boy tonight so we can bring something home and I can have me some beer from Milwaukee. That's my final thoughts tonight anyway. All right, Mike, man, I appreciate you joining me. Guess
All right,
what?
buddy.
I'm going to be in contact with you. Maybe we can do this again next Tuesday.
All right, buddy.
If you got time.
We can do it.
Guys, thank you for joining us, TFG Sports. And you know where you can find us here every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Tune in, share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.